It wasn't planned, at least it didn't look like it. No flashy outfits, no entourage, no sign they were trying to be seen. Just David Licauco and Barbie Forteza, slipping quietly into La Vecchia Latteria in Milan, a cozy vegetarian spot known more to locals than tourists. The kind of place with old wooden tables, candlelight flickering in empty wine bottles, and a menu scrawled in chalk. It was raining lightly outside, and he held the door open for her, his hand lingering at her lower back just a second longer than necessary. They didn't sit across from each other. They sat side by side, their knees brushing beneath the table. She leaned into him when she spoke, her voice low, and he smiled in that half-lazy way he does when he's completely at ease. There was no distance between them, no polite space left untouched. Their connection felt lived in, like something that had grown quietly, patiently, and was now just unfolding naturally. At one point, she reached for his hand, casually, like she'd done it 100 times before. And he didn't look surprised, he looked like he'd been waiting for it. There wasn't any performance in their affection. It was soft, familiar. They shared bites from the same plate, laughed over something on his phone, and every so often, their hands found each other again, as if pulled by instinct. Then came the kiss. No fanfare, no pause for effect. Just happened. They were talking, smiling, and then she tilted her head slightly and he leaned in. Their lips met in a way that felt less like a beginning and more like a continuation, something they'd started long before this dinner. It was slow, unhurried, the kind of kiss you give when nothing else matters in that moment but the person sitting next to you. No one around them seemed shocked. Maybe they didn't recognize them. Or maybe they did, and like the waiter who refilled their glasses with a knowing glance, they chose to let them be. That kiss didn't ask for attention. It was private but not hidden. Honest. It was the kind of kiss that doesn't need words afterward. Just a glance, a small smile, a hand resting on a thigh under the table. They stayed long after the plates were cleared, talking in low voices, shoulders touching. The restaurant slowly emptied, but they didn't seem to notice. When they finally stood to leave, she adjusted the collar of his jacket, and he kissed her forehead in return, brushing her hair back gently. It was intimate in a way that said everything without saying much at all. Outside, the rain had stopped. They didn't call a car. They walked, slowly, hands intertwined, his thumb tracing small circles against the back of her hand. And when they disappeared around the corner, it didn't feel like a scene. It felt like real life, two people living in a moment they weren't trying to define. Just feeling it. Completely.